What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. We're making some big developments. As you guys know, I've had a bumper on my roof of my garage for probably about a year. The past year of filming, that thing's been up there. All of last summer when I drove the car, I drove it bumperless. Just, I don't know why, I was just being weird. But this is the time. This is when we are gonna take this baby down and she's going on the car. We're making some big developments, people. We're growing up. This is quite crazy. The bumper's in meh shape, to say the least. A lot of the clear coat's cracked all over it, but I don't know. I'm kind of over it. Just throw it on the car and say fuck it. You know, it's better than not having a bumper at all. So gonna throw that on, and yes, we will see how this goes, because I am only myself and I need to take this down from the ceiling. So, see how this goes. Okay. Got it? Jesus. Alright. Yeah, let's grab it. Got it. Thanks, Benji. Wicked. Look at this. Let's go. Alright, so I just pulled this all out of my closet. I have a front lip for it that's been in there for about a year. So I'm gonna get this all unwrapped and we're gonna kind of test fit it, because these wings, like winged up parts, just fit like over here kind of. So we're gonna take all the wrapping off of them, and then we're gonna just test fit and see how they fit. Okay, so the lip kind of looks kind of because it's just a rough mold, like, because this is just a fiberglass lip, because the OEM ones are like $1,200 and I didn't want to buy one just for a fucking lip that I'm probably gonna destroy it. So the mold is kind of trash. Like, you can only see it when you get real close, but like if you back up, like, it looks okay, but just, as you can see, it's like the whole thing's like that. So I might just leave it. We'll see, but first comes first. I have the bumper crash bar here. I'm gonna get this all in, all these holes here in the bumper. That's where the crash bar mounts up. There's holes in it all over. So I'm gonna mount the crash bar up to the bumper, and then we're gonna throw the bumper on the car. I'm just gonna try and figure out how to get this thing on here. I forget which holes go where, so. Where are the 5 holes? Fuck, this is gonna be awkward. This thing's not like tied down very good. It's annoying. It's just a line for the intercooler sprayers. Yeah. Fuck, dude. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna need to go back to the drawing board here. I might take this mesh out first, because I don't remember how I got this in. Alright guys, it's been like a day since I recorded last. We're left off pretty much in the same spot, but today I'm going to find out where to splice this in. I'm not sure where I want to go for 12 volt, because I need an instant like flick of the key, 12 volts, right? So I'm probably gonna have to tap into somewhere in there and just go like here and then wrap it under and go there. So I'm gonna take apart, I think, this area with the radio and stuff, and then I'll run the wires, and because all I need is these two, because these 4 or 5 are just for like if you have an AM ECU and stuff like that, AM net and all that shit, and I don't have any of that, so I am just gonna like tape these off and stuff and keep them away from everything. So gonna run these wires and see if I can figure out a place as to where to get power. All right guys, so I found a spot to tap into, I think. I haven't power probed it yet, but as you can see, I just got my power probe down here. I got this wire hanging right there, which is just like a fuse, inline fuse. That's plugged into, oh, it's so dark in here. That's plugged into this. I don't know if you can see that, but this wire that's hanging down right there, That's a factory fuse that's there. It's wired up, but it's not, doesn't do anything because it's for the sunroof. A very few, like, it's pretty rare if you have an Evo 4 with a sunroof. Whoops. So, yeah, obviously this one's a slick top, and they just wire it. They just have it there because, like, you know, they're not going to change the whole harness just for sunroof. So you just have an empty fuse spot where you can just tap in. So I'm going to do that real quick and tap into there, since it's just like, it's 12 volt power, and it should be, I don't know, I'm going to figure that out soon. It should be 12 volt power, and it's not controlling anything else, so it should work. So I made the executive decision. I thought the wire for up here, you can kind of see it hanging out, but I am going to be using now this guy on that plugs into the radio, because that's an instant, or well, it's the fuse for the radio, I should say. So I'm gonna tap into that because that gets an instant 12 volt, obviously. And I'm gonna tap into that, use my power probe to see if it's getting power, and then we'll see if it works and go from there. All right, guys. So I just made this harness here. As you can see, I added some fuses here. This is just this part is just the AEM harness. Shit. But I cut it here and chopped out all the extra wires, because all the extra wires are for the AEM. If you have an AEM ECU, you can just directly plug it into it, which I don't have that ECU, obviously, so I didn't. I just chopped them all out, and then this is just made a little ground on the ring terminal, and then just chopped that in there, and added the fuse for the battery, and then the fuse for the gauge. Or sorry, the fuse for the radio, and then the fuse for the gauge, since they're tied in now together. So now I already test fitted it before I like shrink wrapped everything and made sure that it was all it would all fit, and it does. So now time to test it if it actually works. Oh, wish me luck. All right, it's all like plugged in. I don't have the gauge mounted or anything. The wiring's not like ran properly. It's just have the gauge all plugged in, and now we're gonna see if it turns on. But first I gotta find my damn keys. God damn it. Also peep the drip that I got from FD. That and this sick ass shit right there. All right, come on, be nice. Hey, look at that. Beautiful. It works, yay. I'm excited. I don't know what it's doing, but it works, so I don't give a fuck. Heat. Oh, there we go. Nice. It works. Let's fucking go. So our wiring connection's all good over here. Hell yeah, baby. All right, guys, we made it back home. I skipped out on the plastic and chose just a flat piece of steel. So that's my cutout there. And I'm gonna cut this out, and then we're gonna mock it up, because I gave up on the plastic. There's nowhere in town had the plastic, so I was just like, screw it. I'm just gonna get steel and then paint it, and because I don't want to wait anymore, you know. So I'll just fabricate something. Take a little bit longer, but that's all right. I'd rather do that than wait. So I'm gonna set you guys up here, and then we are gonna make this little gauge holder. Let's see if this wants to work. Send it now.
Fucking hot.
This is where we're at with the plate. This just I rounded off the edges with a coin. Like use the coin as reference, so it's rounded. And so far it slides up on this edge really good up top. I don't know if you guys can see that. But I just gotta trim the bottom just so it fits a little, like just right on this line. And then she'll slide right in there. And so far this is how we look with the gauge. Just for reference. It's like a pretty tight fit, but there's enough like edges on each side. And this side I'm just gonna trim a little bit as you guys saw, and then it should be good. All right, bracket is done. You can barely see it. Just getting some black paint on it. It's the gauge fits in super flush and nice, and that's what we're gonna leave off for now because now we just gotta, let paint dry. So that's about all. What's up, guys? It's been a couple days. There we go. It's been a couple days since I filmed. Just kind of had a lot going on in my life lately. It's all good though. We are good and happy. But yeah, the interior is still in pieces from the last clip you saw. I don't know if you can see in there, but still kind of in pieces. Then the bracket I made for the gauge is right here. I'm gonna, it's like, decent. I'm gonna get her all set up for final mock here because it still doesn't fit completely right. I need to trim the bottom a hair and then she'll be minty. So I'm gonna trim this a little bit until it slides in perfect and then we'll call her at that. So yeah, here we go. All right, I just got finished actually finishing the bracket. Here it is. Oh, if you can even see it, you can. It's just shining with paint currently. I had to trim it some more. I thought I was done with it, but I actually wasn't. I tested it a couple more times. I just really wasn't happy with the fitment, so I trimmed it up a little more, just like made the edges a little smoother, and now it like recesses in there real nice. So once that paint's done drying, I'll just throw it all together, and I have a bracket. I think I'm gonna jimmy rig to make that work. So I don't know, this whole gauge process has been jimmy rigging, so we'll see if I even get lucky with this. While that is drying, I am gonna take apart this mesh here on the bumper because I need to slap this on, and to get this in there, it needs to go behind the mesh because it like tucks all up right in here. And then this all tucks behind. And I don't have space with the mesh in there, so I'm gonna pop that out real fast and then try and throw the bumper beam in there. Alright guys, the bumper is taken apart some more, as you just saw. There's a bunch of the brackets out. I'm going to pop all of this off just because it's just all in the way, honestly. And the bracket, I'll show you guys that right now. I just got it out in the light. It's currently still drying. I have no idea why it's still tacky. Like, it's crazy. Alright, so the gauge is all in and it fits actually really good, surprisingly. Here it is. I pitched it up a little bit just so when I sit, it'll have a better angle. Because before I had it in flush, but when it's flush, it like points down and like it'd be just real shitty to look at. So now it's pitched up and hopefully it'll be a little easier to read when I'm sitting down. But all I did was I just put like a little clamp like this around it. So it just pulls it towards this piece. So this is just kind of in there forever unless I pop this whole panel off, which is cake. It's just 4 bolts and clips. But I'm really happy with the fit and finish. It's pretty decent for a backyard job. But yeah. All right, you want to help me with this? I'll grab this end because this end's worse. Like this end. Wait. I took that bolt out. Yeah. Use your man strength.
I'm trying to figure out which way the insurance is going to go. I got it.
Alright. Got her? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you go this way. And then you'll see a little hole. See that hole right in front of you? Big square.
Yes.
Just slide the black thing in there. Real stiff.
I want to grab this.
Make sure watch the fender too. The clip on the side there. want to pull it out a hair,
Yeah.
just go from the middle and just like give it a little shake back, but make sure your holders are good. Yeah. All right, here it is, people. Last time this car had a bumper on it, it was like COVID times, so this is nuts. The fitment's all really good. The only part that like I'm not super stoked about is here, but this is because right here this fender has a big dent in it. So like you can't really see the dent, but you can really feel it when you rub your hand. So that's why there's just a little gap here, but I'm not so worried about it. I'm gonna wrap the car, and up there there's a new fender, so who gives a shit? The whole interior's back together. Oh, shit. Gauge all in there. Wheels just gotta go on. But yeah, I'm gonna start her up real quick, give you guys a little cold start. And yeah, here we are. Big developments. I'm just gonna shut off because it's gonna run out of gas. Dude, that gauge works sick! Oh! The AFR gauge works so good! Yes! Alright guys, so we were about to take the Evo off for a drive, and unsuspected problems here. I had the car running for like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes or so, and the car just started filling up with smoke. I was like, what the fuck? And it stunk. And all here, this harness just cinched right onto this. Just like blew right up and just melted itself. Which sucks, because now I'm gonna have to repin this and figure out what goes where. It's just the harness for these gauges. Which is weird, because these are OEM gauges, so I don't know why they're so fucking jank. But they are. So, oh well. Other than that, the car is fine, I think. So, just gotta pull this whole harness apart and see where else it's screwed up, because you can see as like through this whole section, it's just ruined. So, I'm just gonna have to. I might just rewire this whole thing. Just pull the pins out of this and just repin them. It's probably the best case. Just all this wiring is so junk. Anyways, big developments. Alright guys, here's the car. I didn't film earlier, I just went on a drive for a couple hours. The car is so good, man. It's so good. I'm really happy with how it's performing right now. It's really, can't really complain, to be honest, with how she's looking currently. So, I ended up filming because I just went out with my girl and we went out for a drive and had a real nice afternoon and stuff. But yeah, guys, so as you saw, that clip got cut short because I'm going to cut that out, and that's going to be in the next video. I hate doing that to you guys, but that's what I'm going to do, just because we're going to a car show and stuff, and it's the first big event of the season, so you guys are going to have to stay tuned for the next video that'll come out in the next couple days. So yeah, the Evo is driving amazing. I went out for a real long drive last night, really like pushed on it hard, and it's so good so far. So I just have to rebuild that harness for the gauges and the radio, because the old one failed. And it wasn't even a part that I touched. It's legit just a part that just failed randomly, so that sucks. But I'll show you guys the car a little bit now and show you guys the inside of how the gauge all turned out. And yeah. So here's how it sits right now. It's looking real pretty. Super happy with how this thing looks, man. It's such a good car. It's driving amazing. I can't complain. And then as you get inside, here's the gauge. It's nice. It's like real kind of OEM fit. So I'm really happy with that. As you can see, there's just a gaping hole here to where all the stuff caught on fire. But yeah, man, cars are doing good. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching if you got to this far. And have a good day, good afternoon, good evening, or morning, whatever time you're watching this. And peace.